Let me ask you the hardest possible question, which would be there was a video when you were still running, I think a day or two before the Iowa caucus, where you were chatting with a woman. This went viral, and she was asking you who she was going to vote for. It was between you and Trump. And you basically said to her, well, they won't let Trump be president again. If that is true, then, and I think you just laid out the case for perhaps why that is true, then how do we get out of this? I mean, it's a scary thought. Like, what's the point of all of this then?
I mean, sheer fortitude of will is ultimately what's going to achieve it at this point. Our founding fathers made immense sacrifices that in their era were deemed to be impossible in 1776. A backwater nation, a collection of eastern seaboard colonies, ended up defeating arguably the most powerful empire in the world at the time in a way that nobody thought. It required great sacrifice. 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence went on to have their land seized. 12 of them had their homes ransacked and burned to the ground by the British. 5 of them had their own private property seized, but they were also captured and tortured themselves by the British. I think 9 of them died in the Revolutionary War. 3 more of them had their kids die in the Revolutionary War. Well, I do think that there's a reason they made those sacrifices, is that they beat the odds to achieve what was necessary. They believed whatever is necessary is always possible. And I think we have to cling to that same belief today. Donald Trump, I am saddened by this reality, but the truth of the matter is, you cited what I said at the Iowa caucus. Well, now where are we sitting just 9 short months later? There have been 2 assassination attempts in a period of 3 months. It's disgusting. They've had multiple attempts, this time in the case of the government, to remove him from the ballot. They've had attempts to prosecute him. All that's coming from the government. But the reality is, whether it's the individual one-off, actions here of crazy people taking literally gunshots at the U.S. president, to even a systematic response of the U.S. government trying to prosecute him in the middle of an election on multiple different cases at the same time, extrajudicially trying to remove him from the ballot without going through even the court system to do it, civil cases, you name it. Yeah, you have a system that has an allergic response to not just one man, but the movement that he represents. And at this point, with 50 days away, none of those tricks have worked, thank God. And the ultimate choice we have left is, how are we actually going to revive the country in the same way our founding fathers did? It's going to be through sheer force of will, and hopefully to our vision of just running to something. I don't think that it's going to be successful enough to just rail against the radical Kamala agenda as we did against Biden. I think we got to offer our own vision of, here's what we're actually running to. Here's what it means to be an American today. Basic ideas like merit and free speech and open debate and the rule of law and self-governance. I mean, even that idea that people we elect to run the government should be the ones who actually run the government. Those are bigger than traditional Republican ideas. We are going through, I think, a great political realignment right now. You're seeing many people who are independents or libertarians or even Democrats saying that, you know what, I don't care what the Democratic Party is feeding me. I need to go in a different direction, even if I don't agree with 100% of what Donald Trump says on a given day. Heck, I don't agree with 100% of what Donald Trump says. No 2 people in this country, it'd be kind of strange if they did. But I think you're seeing that type of commitment to the basic principles of the country. And in some ways, that is what this election is coming down to. And I'm hopeful that, we're going to emerge stronger on the other side of it.